Hey guys, it's your girl Aisha, aka Geek XX Chic, and we are back with another reaction to Dr. Stone. And we're going to be jumping into episode 5 of season 3, which is called Science versus Perseus. So Perseus, I know a little bit of my Greek mythology. I know that that was the god of the sea, and we know that we are still in the midst of trying to figure out how we're going to get a ship going that will be powerful enough and stable enough and all those things to make it all the way across the world. And I believe the last thing that we did was figure out a way to, I know we were working on improving the map. Maybe I'm wrong. I might have forgotten a few things, but as I said, it has been a minute. So I'm not going to chat too much more. Let's jump into the episode. But just before I do, a reminder that if you'd like to be in the know of when I drop episodes, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well as the notification bell. All right, that out of the way, let's get into the episode right now. Ooh. Right? Be nice to him, he's old. Oh, wow. I'll pass that on. That's funny. He's like, no, it's okay, thanks. That was the kingdom of all the kingdoms. We had to do trial and error. Not forever. Not forever. Breathe. Mega yacht? That's what we thought we were building, sir? We'd be lucky if this thing is seaworthy. Exactly. Only 1 million. Deal with that. Their faces. I do appreciate that, like, he was like, I'll make my own money if you don't give it to me. Did you build your own VR center? She works for him. What do you think she's gonna say? Exactly. You don't mess with the check. Good answer. Don't mess with the check. That's valid. That's valid. Alright. There's some science to that. Yeah, I agree. It's not necessarily self-indulgent. That's where you lost me, sis. I know that's something you should be bragging about, but okay. Right, he's like, I'm not about to learn all that right now. No, he doesn't care either. I mean, what else has he got to do? No, that is not the right equation. Even a little. But whatever you have to tell yourself. I mean, I feel like they're using the word greed here, and maybe that's the translation. I would say ambition, but... Pantograph. If you say so. Homie's like, we're gonna snowboard? Really? Okay. Why though? I don't understand why. Anyways, let me stop. It's not like their life should be work. Humans have always found ways to entertain ourselves, if nothing else. Yeah, it still doesn't sound right to me. I like my cacao, thanks. Oh wow, we're in February already? Breathe. If you tasted the real thing, you probably wouldn't feel the same. So she's making a yearbook, basically. Exactly. What makes you think she can't write delicately? Y'all just thrown off by the fact the girl got some muscles. Come on now. I'm so glad they made him that suit, because that man be just ripping off his clothes willy-nilly. Have him burn his old nipples off. But he found one. Oh, you need silk. Oh, he's back to the water immediately. And I don't know why you guys are acting like that. That girl was walking around half naked already. Very smart idea that the animators had here with having these photos being taken for posterity, but really it just allows them to do some still shots. Which is all good. Animating is not easy. He's like, I know I'm good looking, but this is a little excessive. So that's what she meant by the last time. That is the mentality to go in with. Wow. That's a lot. That's a lot. Someone could just do a countdown. Okay. The face on the front's interesting. September 10th. Perseus. They named it Perseus. Okay. Good name. God of the Sea sounds about right for the two arrogant people that will be on there between Senku and Ryoshi. Somebody was paying attention in class. That's a long time to wait. Okay, home and away teams. As it should be. You say no, bro. My God. You say that out loud, Senku? So very loud? Oh, okay. That is true, but honestly, you shouldn't be captain if you don't care about what happens to people. This is true. Yay! Kaseki, I don't know, bro. This might be your final voyage. I hope not. We need your sewing skills. Oh, yeah, we definitely need someone to cook. Stop them if you can. He is a rule follower. We love that about him. Exactly. Good for you. You said no. Yeah, he said that. You can say no. Leaving them unprotected? Oh, right. Yeah, I was like, security will be a problem. You can also just dump them at sea. He's like, exactly. What am I gonna do, bro? I'm just the entertainment. The strength of a beast, bro. Again, comes right back around to self-preservation again, as always. Alright, we're finally leaving the bay. Hasn't sunk yet, guys. This is good. We're making progress. He's not the one to go with you, bro. Yeah. I'm glad you know. When did you learn to swim? No, sorry. Really is his unnatural attachment to Kinro, if we're being real. Take a picture? You know, they might catch you and bring you up, Ginro. You better be serious. Ever the scammer. And when did his arms get so buff? Where did this beard come from? Sir! No. It's Ginro. I told you, careful what you wish for, bro. You might get it. Now you can't go back because they ain't turning around. He is. But he's got a little bit of a backbone. It's a teeny one. He's not crying because he's happy. He's crying because he can't believe they actually caught him. Exactly. No thanks. Too late, bro. God tier. I'm intrigued. All right. Oh, yeah, I guess it would be a lot of good technology in there, most likely. That does make sense. I mean, how much of it still works is probably a question, but if there's anyone who can get it going again, it's definitely Senku, or at the very least be able to see how it works so we can recreate it. So, all right, guys. Well, we are actually off and running, and I'm so happy and mildly surprised, pleasantly surprised, because as I mentioned, I think a few reactions ago, back in season 1 in particular, things took a long time to get moving. It took us so long to get through certain arcs. Like what happened in this episode in season 1 would have been like 4 episodes. So I'm glad to see that this season is speeding up the time a little bit more, like making sure that we're getting through a little bit more faster. Like we didn't need to have 4 episodes to cover the year that they're waiting to build the ship, right? Like it's not necessary, because you have to find filler, things for different characters to go through to fill up those time, fill up those episodes, so we're not just focusing on one aspect of the ship being built. And as I said, I'm just glad that we didn't have to do that again, because yeah, I mean, as much as I do like the show, I kind of like, I want some progress. I want to see us actually moving towards this goal, and this idea of them sailing and going out and potentially figuring out where the source of this petrification is, which of course is the big question mark that's been surrounding this series since episode 2 or 3. I want to get closer to potentially figuring that out. And honestly, if it turns out to be a situation where they never find out what it is, I'm okay with that, because whenever you have these post-apocalyptic stories, you typically have 3 options, right? You either have a situation where they figure out what it is and they can fix it, or a situation where they figure out at least what started it, but there's no way to stop it, or it's a situation where you just never really know what caused it, and we have no idea if it's something that can be reversed or stopped, right? Those are kind of your 3 scenarios, and this one to me could definitely be between the first 2. And I mean, this show is not too dark. Like no one's like died in this show, or there hasn't been anything crazy like that outside of course the statue. Well, actually no, because they glued the statues back together. So my point being, this doesn't feel like the type of show that's going to be like, when they get all the way to wherever this is, it's gonna be like, oh, too bad, everyone's gonna stay petrified unless you can make enough guano juice to thaw out the entire world. But either way, we'll have to see what they decide to do with that story, because I am very curious as to what happened and why. Like who did this, and why did they think that turning the entire world to stone would be the right thing to do? Or did they know that it was going to be the entire world, or did they think it was only going to be certain people? I don't know. But either way, we got through finally finishing up the ship, and we got a little bit more background on Ryushi and the fact that he is, well, the translation said greed, right? That he's greedy, and that greed equals justice. And we see that since he was very young, he's not someone who took the word no seriously. If anyone ever told him no or stop or slow down, he would just say, nope, I'm just going to work harder or find a way around it. And, we see that eventually the board members on his family company were saying that it was indulgent behavior and they didn't like it. And they were thinking of possibly pulling some, power away from him, maybe to see if they could get him to slow down. But his butler, Francois, let them know that as far as they're concerned, it wasn't really self-indulgent. They looked at Ryushi's passion and drive as like, this is just, he has, when he wants something, he doesn't let anything get in his way. And I think the modern way of saying that would be that he doesn't let excuses get in his way, right? There's people out there who say you either find a way or you find excuses, right? And so I do agree to some extent that it's true. A lot of us do find excuses not to do things that are hard or things that are challenging because we don't want to be disappointed. We don't want to fail, but anything that's really pushed the boundaries in our world of doing something that was deemed impossible, it was by people who refused to make excuses, or people who refused to take no for an answer, and they just kept pushing until the answer became apparent. So yeah, I mean, in that sense, Ryushi is you can't fault him for that. I don't think that's a self-indulgent thing for him to be passionate about what he cares about. And as I said in the episode, I wouldn't really use the word greed. I would use it as ambition. He's very ambitious, and if he really wants something, he doesn't just listen to excuses. Like he's like, if there's a way I can make it happen, I'm going to try to make it happen. I'm not going to give up just because it's hard, or because it's difficult, or because it's never been done before. And so the combination of that kind of mentality and attitude along with Senku is actually a really good pairing, because Senku's kind of the same. Like he's not as, what's the word I'm looking for? Yeah, I guess arrogant's the right one. He's not as arrogant as Ryushi. Like Ryushi's he's very, very self-centered. Let's face it. He is a spoiled rich kid for sure. Is he a jerk? I would say no. Like he's at least not condescending, but Senku's kind of very similar to Ryushi in that he doesn't take no for an answer either. And if there's a problem or something that seems like an impossible solution, he makes it his mission to find a way around it or find a way to do it. So they're very similar in that way. And I really like how, what's her name? The girl with the melon girl. I can't remember her name right now, but I love how she said, I feel more reassured that the two of them are working together because they're two people who've proven that they'll push through and do whatever it takes is necessary to get something done, right? So I agree with that. I mean, if you got two people, especially with this nautical mission that they're on now, you got someone who's a boat enthusiast as well as an expert, along with Senku, who's got his scientific knowledge, and then you've got, of course, all the people on the crew that bring their different strengths. And I think there's a very good chance that they're going to make it to where they're going to get to, or be able to figure out any issues that they come up with, or come against, I should say, along the way. I'm just hoping my man, the old man craftsman, makes it, because I don't even know how old he is, but I'm like, he's up there. This is going to be a long voyage. Like we heard earlier this season, like this is going to be probably 3 to 4 months of them traveling, and that's assuming they don't stop too long, and they're going to have to for like water and things like that. So hopefully my man is going to make it, because his skills are very necessary. Plus his character's cute. But yeah, that's what we got there. I forgot about the Y man, the guy who was sending a message through the transmission. They were going to go and check that out, but it looks like it's something that they might potentially have a chance to do if they get, if they pass by or they're close, but it's not their priority at the moment, because they said if a whole year went by and whoever's sending that transmission didn't try to contact us again or get closer, chances are they're not that interested in us. So we're just going to do what we're going to do, and then we'll figure that kind of stuff out later. And then for the first time this season, we saw, what's their name? Holga, is that her name? And the other guy who, with the spear, I can't think of his name right now, but the two criminals who've been locked up. My girl Kohaku's like, we can't leave the two strongest people now with us gone alone with these villagers. Like if they find a way out, they're going to decimate that village, and they will absolutely take over everyone there, because they're the strongest and smartest by far. So the answer they came up with is, let's bring them with us, because if all of our strongest fighters are on board, then we have a better chance of subduing them again than if we leave them with the people. And so I somewhat get it, but I also I feel like they didn't show them for no reason. I do think they might potentially become, we'll see what happens actually. We'll just have to see what happens, because with Hyoga, Hyoga's the boy, right? What's the girl's name? The acrobat girl anyways. I think she's definitely someone who could be turned. Like I know she's got a serious loyalty to that guy, but I do think if she, especially now that they're on this ship and it's going to be away from a lot of the things that they had before, it's going to give her a lot of time to kind of see how everyone works together and the progression that this group is going to be making versus what the dummy that she's been following wants, which is basically to keep everybody as slaves. So anyways, I'm hoping that she wakes up and realizes she does not have to follow the path with him, but we'll have to see. As I said, I don't think that they showed them to us for no reason. And Senku brought up a very good point about how he's a good fighter. So if it comes down to them having to fight for their lives, you want all the good fighters, including the ones you don't fully trust. So yeah, good episode. Glad that we're finally on the water. Excited to finally see what we come up with. Hopefully they actually make it out of Japan this season. I have no idea whether or not we're getting another season of Dr. Stone, by the way. So maybe they're going to wrap it all up in this season. But if they don't, I do hope that we do at least get some progression and we actually get out of the Pacific Ocean. Or at least the North Pacific Ocean before the end of the season, because I would love to see them interact with some new people. And I think I saw some in the intro, so I'm excited to see who they are. But yeah, good episode, guys. I enjoyed it. Hope you guys enjoyed watching along. If you did, please leave some love, and I will see you in the next one.